from 75 to 80, I was the best player in the game. And I got all the numbers that you need. I got 2 World Series, 2 DHs of the year,
Gold Gloves,
MVP, 3 Gold Gloves, silver bat. I might have about 6 times. There's not too much more I can do. So I'm telling everybody that asks me about the Hall of Fame, go to the committee.
well, I know the guy I grew up loving, Richie Dick Allen, he should be in, and our own Lou Whitaker should definitely be in, and you definitely have the numbers with a lot of those guys.
Yeah, Dick Allen is definitely one of the guys that should be in. He was a wrist hitter. He used a 54-ounce bat, and he used to hit the damn near line drive to right field. I mean, I had to prepare myself for Dick because I knew he was going to hit me 2 or 3 line drive that was hit hard to right field.
All right, the book is Cobra, a memoir of baseball and brotherhood. Dave, thank you very much. Glad you're doing okay, and hopefully you get in the Hall of Fame, and we appreciate it.
It's my pleasure, and it's really up to them if I make the Hall or not. Even if I don't, just the way that my peers respect me and dealt with me as one of the best players to play in baseball in the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
All right, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
All right, take care.
It's Dave Parker here on 97.1 The Ticket.
Are you tired of paying high fees and commissions even when you lose your money? How'd you like to never lose your money again due to market risk? Join Joe Player for the Save Money and Income radio show right here on The Ticket, Sunday mornings from 7 to 8.
My mom is interesting. She goes to the grocery store and buys 2 of everything. I ask her, what's the deal? She tells me that there's nothing worse than cooking dinner for the family and you need more of something and it's not there. She said she would rather go all in and double up to make sure she's covered. I get it. I'm now doing that with the pandemic. I know many people are getting the vaccine, but there are new forms of the virus and I don't want to take the chance. Wearing a well-fitted mask, keeping 6 feet apart, and avoiding crowds are my way of doubling up against the virus. We need to continue to protect our people and our tribal communities.
Help prevent the spread of the new forms of the virus by continuing to wear a snug mask, keep 6 feet apart when you're around others, and when it's your turn, get vaccinated. We can do this. Learn more at cdc.gov/coronavirus. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
All right, guys, as a college basketball fan, March is the best time of year. For people who struggle with gambling problems, March can be especially difficult. That's why, all month long, we're teaming up with FanDuel and the American Gaming Association to support National Problem Gambling Awareness Month. You can learn more at FanDuel.com/paysafe. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem, please call the number. You gotta be 21 and up. President Michigan gambling problem. Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. That's 1-800-270-7117.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it would be too difficult? Then try Babbel. Babbel starts by teaching you words and phrases that gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations. So in 15 minutes a day, you'll be speaking a new language in a few weeks. Babbel is built around real life. It teaches you practical conversations that you will actually use. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com today. That's BABBEL.com.
Introducing Fidelity Income Planning. We look at how much you've saved, how much you'll need, and help you build a straightforward plan to generate income, even when you're not working. A plan that gives you the chance to grow your savings and create cash flow that lasts. Plus, you can start, stop, or adjust your plan at any time. Talk to us today so we can help you go from saving to living. Fidelity Brokerage Services, member NYSE, SIPC.
I have great news for all the 97.1 listeners that have been self-conscious about their hair loss over the last 3 months. Michigan's #1 hair restoration specialist, Dr. Berkowitz from Michigan Hair Restoration, is now accepting in-person appointments. And in case you haven't seen the social videos, Dr. B is taking extreme precautions to make the office clean and safe. The office is cleaned several times per day, including fogging, and all staff and patients will be required to wear masks. The reception area will remain closed so you can stay safe in your car until your appointment begins. you mention 97.1 when you call, Dr. Berkowitz is going to give you 0% financing on your hair restoration procedure. If you need a refresher on Dr. B's one-of-a-kind NeoGrap transplant, you can also download his complimentary book, No Hair Anytime, at MichiganHairRestoration.com. Remember, Dr. Berkowitz is one of the most recognized experts in the country on hair restoration. For more information or to schedule your in-person appointment with Dr. B, go to MichiganHairRestoration.com. That's MichiganHairRestoration.com.
Odyssey is your new home for all the audio that matters to you. Download the Odyssey app today.
You're listening to the best of Stoney and Jansen with Heather on 97.1 The Ticket. Yesterday I was reading the Detroit Food, and there was an article about a new book coming out by former Channel 4 newsman Mort Krim. Mort was a great news anchor. He was basically an anchor for me when I grew up in Philadelphia for years. And then he ended up here, and then I ended up here, and I got to know Mort very well. Had quite a few drinks with Mort after he'd Stoney, I'm going to have a Manhattan, in his anchorman voice. Mort has a book called Anchored, A Journalist's Search for the Truth. And I was reading the article, the review, and I definitely want to get the book. But it talked about something that I had no idea existed in Mort's life. Do you remember just passed away, Jessica Savage? She was an NBC network news anchor. Anyway, when I was a kid, she worked at the same television station that Mort did in Philadelphia. And they were friends. That everybody kind of knew that they were very friendly. And I would talk to Mort about the old anchor team in Philly, the sports guys, a guy named Al Meltzer and Jessica Savage. And I always knew that they were friends and they talked all the time. But in this book, Mort Krim reveals that he had an affair with her. She's dead. Mort's wife has passed away, and now he's revealing this stuff. It's like, oh my God, I never knew that. Unbelievable. They would go, it says here in the book that between newscasts, he would go to her apartment, have Chinese food, and then one thing led to another. He writes in the book that the affair, quote, unleashed this torrent of guilt and regret, unlike anything I've ever felt. A romantic involvement with Jess was wrong. It violated everything I believed about commitment and marriage. Took him to a dark tunnel. How much did his wife know? According to Krim, she never asked about the relationship, had no interest in details. The affair was broken off. Savage left for NBC News, and Mort ended up going to Chicago and then eventually to Detroit. So I was just curious. 248-539-97. Is there something that you found out about somebody in your life that you had no idea? Maybe you should have known, but you didn't, and it just blew you away. And to me, reading this just absolutely blew me away. I said, I can't believe Mort Krim was banging Jessica Savage. I can't believe it. And Jessica Savage, I knew a little bit because she worked at NBC News when I worked there. She worked at the place where I joked around where the carpet changed color. And I remember I had one encounter with her where she asked me a question about Redskins coach Jack Pardee, who got fired. And they put that in the 30-second news update during the, and I said, who cares except here about the Jack Pardee get fired? She goes, well, it's very important to me.
I don't have anything, obviously names and stuff I would not share. I was always amazed when I would find out, I had a teammate who had a great family. And we were out to dinner one time and at a game, night before a game, and he went to pay and out popped from his wallet a condom. And I'm like, dude, what do you, I mean, like, you're married. Like, why are you carrying that? And he goes, oh, well, that's in case I get lucky. And it never occurred to me that, and I was very naive throughout most of my time in the NFL, that this, I knew it would happen, but I just didn't see it happening with some of the guys that I knew so well. And just that revelation, it kind of changed my opinion of him. but it also just it kind of opened my eyes that it's something that happens. I just couldn't believe it for me.
All right, 248-539-9797. Is there something or somebody in your life that you found out about that you had no idea and completely just blew you away? Here's one, and I think Gov knows the story. I'm not going to say what it is. I found out that somebody that I know had a liking to African American prostitutes, and I was just completely blown away. Completely blown away.
Oh,
A white guy, okay? I was just blown away by it. I was like, wow, him? Wow, that's crazy. And please don't take it. I'm never going to review it. So, that's something that just blows you away, you know? And a lot of stuff, you know, you're late to the party with somebody I used to work with who I later found out had an affair with somebody who we used to like. I'm gonna leave it. Okay, that I was the last person. Put myself in trouble. Put myself in trouble. I had no idea, and maybe that's just being completely naive on my part. But I'm sure there are other things that even stuff that aren't salacious that you might have found out that, you know, somebody had, I don't know. You thought the person was, you know, really wealthy and really found out later that the person was in debt, but you would never know it by the car that he drove, the house that he lived in, the clothes that they wore, that type of thing.
Yes. Appearances aren't always as what they seem.
Exactly. And you're like laughing like a hyena back there. Heather's smiling. You anybody in your life, Heather?
I'm sure I do, but like I can't think of anything. No, and of course, because of the stories you've just shared, I'm trying to think in that realm. I'm like, oh my gosh, do I know anything like that? I mean, I'm sure it's happened to me where somebody's revealed something and I'm just shocked by it, but no, I can't think of anyone. And I definitely wouldn't want to call them out on the radio.
No, I'm not. I'm not calling anybody out because nobody knows who the hell I'm talking about.
Only that person, if they're listening.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't think that person's listening. We have some ticket texts on our things that might blow you away. We found out about somebody. I don't know there's any names here. Well, except the text Kevin Galliana says, when my ex-girlfriend's grandfather died, his whole secret second family showed up at the funeral. I was like, okay, time for me to go. Matt from Waterford. There was a woman I dated for a couple of years where she really liked a pitcher from the Tigers. She always told me it would never lead to anything despite the pitcher's wife knowing and her telling me he called her and said he liked her. I called her out on that. Terry says, so I kind of have to give away the name with this one after I graduate high school. I got a job in the northern part of the Thumb, and one night I was hanging out with a kid and found out his name was Chase Nichols. And I asked him if he knew who his dad was because I knew some Nichols from high school and were driving my car. He said his dad's name is Terry. Now, Terry Nichols, he was involved in the Oklahoma City bombing, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so that would blow you away. You find out your friend's dad was Terry Nichols, right?
Yes.
I have a friend who was an undercover federal agent. Think Jason Bourne. Can't tell us what he does, but I'm sure it's crazy. And of course, we have this one, Stoney High. What the hell is this topic? I've got a job where we deliver items to stores. A fellow worker that we discovered had stolen upwards of 40 grand from the company over a couple of years finally got caught. To a man, the other guys, we all said he was the last guy we would ever guess would be stealing. How about this? After my dad died in 2009, I learned that he had been arrested when he was 20 for selling heroin to an undercop in the early 70s. I was 29 when I found out. I had no idea. I've got a friend whose father has 3 sets of kids with 3 different women. He married a 4th woman, and while they were dating, he passed all his children off as nieces and nephews.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What?
I found out I was an oopsie baby after my girlfriend made me do the math of my parents' age and when they had me. I'm not a math genius, as you can see. And look at this one. There was a member in my family who died from a speedball overdose in a seedy urban motel while visiting a prostitute. That was a shocker to me since I never knew about any illicit drug use, especially since he lived with us at the time. There was also another family member who was a secret cross-dresser that was not known about until after they moved out and their stuff was left.
Oh,
Obviously
wow.
good at it.
Yeah, absolutely. 97.1 the day.
Paint? No, Paramount isn't just paint. It's the #1 paint in overall interior hide and stain resistance, providing the most advanced protection in just one coat. And now you can get that same outstanding protection with our new Paramount One Coat White. This first of its kind, one coat ready mix white provides a beautiful white finish. Find Paramount paint exclusively at Menards. In third-party tests, interior paint claims versus super premium home center brands in eggshell sheen.
Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Savings or mail-in rebate. See store for details.
Lowe's Spring Fest is here. We've got $10 off gallon cans or $40 off 5-gallon pails on select interior and exterior paints, stains, and coatings. And appliance special values plus free local delivery on appliances $3.96 or more in store and online. Lowe's, home to any budget, home to any possibility. Offers valid through 4/14. Actual paint sizes are 116 to 640 fluid ounces. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for rebate terms and conditions. For appliances, restrictions and additional fees may apply. See Lowe's.com or store for details. U.S. only. Come celebrate Lowe's first annual Spring Fest and give your lawn the look it deserves. With 5 bags of premium mulch for $10 or 3 19.3-ounce Bonnie vegetables and herbs for $9. Spring Fest, a festival of fun and savings for your garden and total home, in store or online. Lowe's, home to any budget, home to any possibility. Offers valid through 4/21 while supplies last. In store only. Selection varies by location. U.S. only, excluding Alaska and Hawaii.
While we've been staying safe at home, scientists have been on a journey. The destination, the COVID-19 vaccine. This journey began decades ago with research into other coronaviruses. Scientists built from there with months of research and development, cooperation with other experts worldwide, and clinical trials on tens of thousands of volunteers of diverse race, age, and health status. They arrived at a safe, effective vaccine, and hundreds of thousands in Michigan have already been vaccinated. But the next step is ours. We need to get the vaccine when we can, keep wearing masks correctly, and taking precautions until we reach our destination, freedom from COVID-19, and getting back to the lives we love. Discover the facts for yourself at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
I love overpriced stuff. Avocados, designer t-shirts, artisanal water, you name it. That's why I'm a loyal Comcast customer. Paying more for the same stuff. What could be better?
Wow is better, because for just $29.99 per month, we give you the super fast, reliable internet you need and the awesome customer service you deserve. Switch to Internet 100 for just $29.99 per month. And now, learn how to get $150 on us at Huawei.com. Limited to new customers with auto-pay and paperless billing, equipment taxes and fees extra. Offer subject to change. Restrictions and terms apply.
Microban 24 protects against Staphylococcus aureus and Enterobacter aerogenes bacteria, but does not provide 24-hour protection against viruses. Every time you touch a surface, you leave behind bacteria. To keep surfaces sanitized all day, use Microban 24 sanitizing spray. Spray on hard surfaces to kill 99.9% of viruses and bacteria initially, including the virus that causes COVID-19. Once dry, Microban 24 sanitizing spray is effective for 24 hours on bacteria when used as directed.
Let me get right back to you. Sandra, those banners come out tonight. Can you count them? Indeed. Those unexpected growth can stretch your business thin. Like at Monica's print shop. To fulfill orders on time, she needs to get started hiring right away. Right, Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
What makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination? Because they offer free battery testing and charging and reliable replacement batteries starting at just $79.99. And they've always got your battery solution. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Last year, 97 won the Ticket Student Heart Check program detected over 150 50 student athletes who needed to follow up with a cardiologist to ensure they have a healthy heart. Make time to have your child checked. Contact the Ernst Cardiovascular Center at Beaumont Hospital in Royal Oak. You could win the ticket signing bonus. $1,000 11 times each weekday. Powered by BetQL. Let BetQL's proven data and analytics help you become a better. Download the BetQL app today.
2645 West Nichols Road, head east on Northwestern Highway.
Text that keyword to 72881 before the end of that hour. Message and data rates apply, and you could win a $1,000 signing bonus on 97.1 The Ticket.
In 12 miles, take exit 9 toward Illinois Avenue.
You're listening to the best of Stoney and Jansen in Heaven on 97.1 The Ticket. Yesterday, after work, I came home and my wife was working. And as you know, we have 2 dogs. Rosie, who is 7, and that we got as a rescue after our dog Jersey was put down after a good 17-year life. And and we have Rocky, a Portuguese water dog, who we've had for 14 years, since the girls were like 7 years old. And Rocky's been struggling. I've talked about it on the air. I've posted pictures. He has to wear a diaper. He can't control himself, and it sucks. But for the last, month, but he would still, beg for food and do all that kind of stuff. The last few days, he really hasn't been himself. Has a hard time standing up, and really hasn't, shown an interest in food, which is incredible because the dog begs more than any dog I've ever had. So I said to Cindy, she came home yesterday. I said, threw up earlier, he's having a hard time standing. I had to basically almost carry him outside to go to the bathroom. He just hung around. He just doesn't look right. So called the vet. We said, took him in, and we told, one daughter's in Florida working, another one's in Ann Arbor. We said this might be it. So Marissa came in.
Stay in the left 3 lanes.
Yeah, it's time. He's lost a lot. So for the 3rd time since I've been married, we've had to put down. And I've been fortunate. We put down Rocky yesterday. Like I mentioned, Jersey was 17 and a half, and before that I had a dog named Dudley, a chocolate lab mix, who was over 50. So those are pretty good runs. And I do, I don't know, social media sometimes sucks, but sometimes it's good. It's kind of like therapeutic at times. Plus, about an hour afterwards, posted some pictures on Twitter, Facebook, and one on Instagram, which I don't go much. And people's comments are really, really, really nice, and it makes you feel good. But it just, I don't know. It reminds you of how great it is having great pets. And Rocky at times is a pain in the ass, and little biting
and moments of them, doing all the things that I like to do with them. And they were always up for the adventure. And when my kids were born, right, that was the first pets that they had grown up with. And the thing about, and again, I don't know about cats. I've not owned one. But I do know that dogs, they have this unique ability to sense, especially, puppies not so much, but once they're dogs, they sense what's going on in your life, and their response so many times is always just with love. And so when, we brought home our, Lucy from the hospital, right? Rocket comes up, and all he would do is sit in front of me and look at the baby. And when I was released from the Washington Redskins, Rocket and Roscoe were always a pair that would be rambunctious around the house. They were very playful. But when I walked up to the door and I opened the door, instead of being greeted with these rambunctious dogs, I opened the door, and I swear to you, they knew already what was going on, and they just sat there and they looked at me like, Dad, it's going to be okay.
Because they read it on Twitter.
May have. But that's the thing about animals, is that they have this ability to feel human emotions. Not that they feel those emotions themselves, but that they can sense what you're going through, and they're just there. You come home, and they're happy to see you every single time. If I leave for 5 minutes and I come back in, if I just go get the paper and I come back in, right now Dakota, who's our dog, it's like she hasn't seen me in a year. And it's the greatest thing ever. And just to have somebody greet you at the door like that, because let's face it, your family's not always going to greet you like that.
I know, and I think when we came home from the vet, our other dog, Rosie, kind of sensed, as she was walking around, we think looking for Rocky, but I don't know. So we'll see how she reacts to that. And it brings up the question, do we get another dog? Now, I didn't want to get another dog after Jersey died. I lost that vote. I'm sure that'll come up again. I just don't. Look, it's not me. Cindy does most of it anyway. Training. I just don't want to. I'm not sure I want to deal with another dog.
A puppy.
Yeah.
You don't want that year of puppy.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yes.
But it's only a year.
I know. We've always had 2 dogs for most of our marriage. Now, Heather, you have dogs and cats, but have you to put any of your dogs down?
This is the first time I've ever had a dog in my entire life.
Oh, okay.
So, no, but I am dreading that moment, because obviously, it's going to happen. You don't want to think about it when your dog is still young. Your dogs are 5 and 4. But I have thought about, I've almost been brought to tears just thinking about it. My dogs are like my babies, because we don't have any kids. So they are our babies. And I cannot imagine what it will be like when it comes to that point.
How old are your dogs?
5 and 4. Yeah. Hopefully, sometimes you never know if they get sick or they injure themselves or if they find out they have cancer or something like that. But no, I can't imagine. I can't. So I'm so sorry about Rocky.
Good choice. Sabri for ticket fix there. You know why you get another dog right away? Because dog lovers love dogs, and they need us, and they're worth what they bring. That's right. Sorry, Stoney. Condolences. Sorry to hear about Rocky. They're not pets, they're family. Joe from Harbor Springs, it's the best thing for the dog. It's so painful, but you absolutely do the right thing. Rocky can go fly Jersey now and beg for treats together. We all love our dogs so much. They're such good souls. And somebody else, think of the great life you gave your dog, Stoney. That's why it's worth it, even knowing that someday you have to go through the process of putting them down. Rocky, you're a hell of a dog. Love you, bud. All right.
In 2 miles, take exit 9 toward Livernois Avenue.
Welcome back to the Dog Show. Up next, we have Satchmo. Satchmo is a member of the Shelter Pet Group. That's right, a group made especially for the couch snuggling dog, which is a place that you can have in the backyard, hanging, and of course, companionship. And what breed would you say Satchmo is? I'd have to go with maybe a Flemish Terrier Highland Rottweiler kind of mix. Tremendous dog. I'd also like to point out Satchmo's color. The following is a paid program. The views expressed on this program are not necessarily those of Entercom Communications, its sponsors, or employees. WHYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit.
to turn onto Liberty Avenue.
Located living in Oakland County. At Beauchamp, providing clean, safe drinking water is hardwired into our DNA. Whether you have a city or well water, Beauchamp will solve your hard water, smelly, rusty water issues and keep you safe from lead, PFAS, and other contaminants. It's never been about price, but building trusted partnership with our customers by offering high-quality equipment and exemplary 5-star service. Beauchamp has 100 years of combined water treatment expertise. Today at 810-632.
Stay in the right 2 lanes.
You have peace of mind knowing that your water is clean and safe. Our loyalty to our customers runs so deep.
In 3/4 of a mile, turn right onto West Nichols Road.
Save big on all your water treatment supplies at Beauchamp's favorite Snowfall Saturdays. Stop by our stores in Waterford, or Beauchamp.com or call 1-632-2000. Your water treatment solutions. New Howell location opening in April. Call Beauchamp today at 810-632-2000.
Target Seal is delivering newly IATF certified and A2LA accredited. Target Seal is roofing ready to take us. Big and small. Whatever your needs are, Target will exceed your expectations. Target with a great work environment, competitive pay, and feet flat. Stop in and fill out an application. TargetSteel.net. TargetSteel.net.
Go past this light, then at the next one, turn right. At the light, turn right onto West McNichols Road.
We don't want you on our team. You're too slow and fast. This is Weight Bias.
I'm worried about your weight.
Don't you care what other people think?
In half a mile, the destination is on your right. 2645 West McNichols Road.
You're not the right fit for this job.
Unfair judgment by others.
Just stop eating so much and exercise some. You lose all this weight.
These people often blame themselves.
It's just me. Nobody likes me. I do exercise and eat right. And I talk to my doctor.
Weight bias hurts.
Everyone deserves to be treated with dignity and respect.
Your words and actions matter.
Let's stop weight bias.
Let's work together.
Be part of the solution. Go to stopweightbias.com and learn more. A public service message from Obesity Action Coalition.
What you done, don't be
Hi, it's Adam Helpman with Hire It Done. I'm here with Sarah Sells, and we have some quick tips you can use the next time you're looking for a contractor. These tips are so crucial, I don't want anyone to hire a contractor before hearing these. Number one, we've been programmed to always get at least 3 bids, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I also want to give you the opportunity and the permission to say yes. Remember, it might be a few weeks or more before a good contractor is available to start working, and the sooner you decide, the sooner the project starts moving forward.
Number 2, ask the contractor to write down everything that's not included. This forces the contractor to think what else is part of the project and what could potentially come up.
Number 3, look for a contractor who's solution-minded. What I mean by that is look for someone who identifies and solves problems instead of placing blame. Before you hire